Hello everybody and welcome back to Dr. Ghost Games. If y'all new to the channel, welcome. I am Dr. Ghost and I make content for the game World of Warships Legends. Today we're going to be taking a look at the new Tier 2 Premium Japanese Destroyer, the Tachibana. Pardon me if I pronounce that incorrectly, but I don't care. So yeah, we got propulsion mod on. For the loadout, we've got, of course, high explosive, armor piercing, we've got torpedoes, we have standard damage control party, 2 smoke generators, and 3 engine boosts. I better put on my my Marine Day 21 flag. It's a very nice looking Japanese flag. And of course, we've got the Type 9 camo that the ship comes with. All premium ships come with a camo. Survivability, not the greatest, 7,000 hit points. Armor, non-existent. The artillery on here, you got 5 76mm guns. That's like 3 to 4 inch guns, I think. They're very small, but there's 5 of them, and they have very good firing angles. Firing range 7.9, reload 5.5. This thing could be a really viable gunboat. Now the torpedoes are horrible. I know, right? A Japanese destroyer with horrible torpedoes? I know. And I'm a full torpedo build, so I might switch over to a gunboat build later on just to have fun with this thing. But this thing, man, it has horrible torpedoes. Don't depend on them at all. Maneuverability, horrible. Well, at least the maneuverability is actually really good, but the speed is horrible. For a destroyer, 30 knots base, that's horrible. But yeah, concealment, very good though. 4.5 kilometers. That's, of course, with my commander fully upgraded. But yeah, we've got hidden, stealthy, very true, and modest guns, yes. And for the commander, we've got Raizo Tanaka. He's level 16, legendary 3. We've got Eric Bay and Reginald Tyrwhitt. We've got Look at Me Now, Torpedo Savari, the regular Japanese torpedo build. But anyways, I will see you guys over in the match, and we'll talk a little bit more about the Tachibana. Alrighty, so we're going to be on Ring. It's going to be a domination mode, and it's going to be a Tier 2/Tier 3 lobby. There's a lot of enemy destroyers out there, and yeah, it looks like we are the only one that's in a Tachibana. Now, the Tachibana, it's kind of it's just another one of those freebies, right? You guys can pick it up in the store right now. In case you guys don't know how, you guys can pick it up in the Microsoft/PlayStation stores. I believe it's in the PlayStation store. I'm on Xbox. It's in the Xbox store. And basically, when you pick it up, it's a free bundle. You can pick it up, and you get a set of challenges you have to complete. Here's actually a screenshot of those challenges. So the challenges you need to do are pretty easy. Earn 7,000 XP. This can be done by also putting on XP boosters. Pretty easy stuff. The ship requirements are Tier 3 through Legendary, so you can do this in a AI battle, which I wouldn't recommend doing. Just go play Standard. You can even take out some Tier 3 premiums, crack it out pretty fast. And, of course, the other one is, for the Part 2, make it into the top 3 by XP received. That would be the base XP. So the only way to get that challenge done is basically by making it into the top 3 of your team's XP, base XP. So not really the hardest challenges in the world, and they're pretty easy, and it's free. It's a free ship, so hey, what else can I say? Gotta love the freebies, right? So, yeah, the Tachibana, I don't think it's a good ship. Honestly, it really isn't. It's an alright boat, and it's kind of unique. It's kind of fun. It's another one of those fun freebies, I guess. But, the way I think this thing is going to shine, keep in mind, this is the very first game I played in this little thing, and I think the way this thing is going to shine is with the guns. You've got 5 guns in total. You can get 4 off at any point, and they can rotate 360 degrees. So at any point, you can get 4 shots off on starboard or your port side. Very nice indeed, but the one downside is, as you guys can see right there, the firing arcs on these guns, ugh, yikes. But that is just because they're so small, guys. The guns are tiny. 76mm. That's like Sherman shells. Keep that in mind. Like most World War II, World War I era tanks have 76mm guns. Even smaller than that. So these are very tiny guns. But they still are guns at the end of the day. You still can do damage. And you've got a lot of them. 4 of them. So if you build into the guns, maybe that's the way to go. Maybe that is the way to go, I think. Torpedoes on this thing, not the greatest. And I'll get right into that right now. The torpedoes are bad. For a Japanese destroyer, man, they're horrible. You've got 5-kilometer torpedo range. Less than that if you don't even build into it. Now, they do reload very fast, but who cares? Honestly, if you're going to go for torping, go play the walkie-talkie. But if you're going to go for gunboating at Tier 2, play this thing. But would I recommend it over any other Tier 4 destroyer? or tier 2 destroyer? Probably not. This thing's a pile of garbage, if I had to say so myself. Hit points, not the greatest. And it's slow, man. It's super slow for a DD. 30 knots base is horrible. So, yeah, I'm really not too interested in this thing. It's not the greatest thing in the world, but it's a freebie, and I'm sure it has some historical significance. I mean, at the end of the day, it was made in 1912, so there's 2 of them. It's a very old destroyer, but I still am going to stick with my guns here and say that it's probably one of the worst at tier 2. So, yeah, but we're going to fast forward here until stuff starts getting spicy, because throughout the first couple minutes of this game, literally the first few minutes of this game, nothing happens. So I'm going to fast forward to parts where things get interesting. So I will see you guys there. And by the way, look at the torp reload. Very good torpedo reload, but that's about it. So, yeah, we're going to go and fast forward a bit. So, yeah, here we are, and here's some torpedo action, right? Torpedoes are super low range. I mean, one upside to this thing is you have very good concealment, I guess, so you can kind of utilize these torpedoes, and the damage is not great either. Really, honestly, guys, you would just be better off taking the walkie-talkie, man. The walkie-talkie's got 8-9 kilometer torpedoes. It's got 30-second reload. The damage is great. Walkie-talkie is just a better choice if you're going to go torpedo things. However, if you're going to go gunboat, for some reason in a Japanese destroyer, take out the Tachibana, I guess. But really, yeah, it's not the greatest DD at this tier. It really isn't, and it's a tier 2, so I mean, I'm probably never going to play this thing. You'd be better off in probably any other destroyer. But hey, it is, like I said, I'm gonna keep coming back to the point that it's free. You know, so I guess you gotta take what you can get, and beggars can't be choosers. But as you guys can see there, the guns reload pretty quick. I'm not even a gunboat build, like I said. I think speccing this thing into guns is probably the way to go. But yeah, we're once again just gonna fast forward until something gets interesting. Alrighty, so yeah, we're at basically the final bit of this match here. Yeah, 9,000 damage this far into a game. Yikes, man. Yeah, so to basically summarize this thing up, the health is not that good, but it's pretty average, I think, for tier 2 DDs. The speed on this thing is horrible. 30 knots base is the worst for any DD, I think, in this game. 30 knots. Most cruisers can outrun you. So, actually, I think every single cruiser can outrun you. So that's sad. But the maneuverability of this thing is fantastic. The rudder on this little thing is something else. Hipper is probably going to have a field day with this thing. But, yeah, and the armor, obviously non-existent. And the guns are actually pretty good. The torpedoes are not. Torpedoes are horrible. Now, if this thing was just a demon, like with the speed, if this thing had crazy speed, and maybe this thing could actually be really strong, because then it could be like a Paulo Emilio or a YOLO kind of boat. You know what I mean? If it had the speed, this thing could be crazy fun. But it just doesn't. It's slow, it's sluggish, it's got bad torpedoes, and the only thing where this thing shines is its guns. And even that is still not something to be proud of, because most tier 2 DDs have better guns than you anyway. So, yeah. But right now, we're in a 1v1 versus this Isakaze. And we are outgunning him right now. We're just absolutely pummeling him, and it looks like he turns into my torpedoes, and down he goes. That's a devastating strike, and yeah. So, like I said, torpedoes are only good like when you're within basically YOLOing distance. That's why I said if this thing had better speed, like a lot better speed, it could probably be a more viable ship. But otherwise, it's just not good. It really isn't. At least comparing it to other tier 2 destroyers, you'd be better off just running anything else. But yeah, but that's going to be the end of this one, guys. That's my Tachibana kind of review, I guess you would call it. But anyways, 18,000 damage, and we were actually top of the leaderboard in a tier 3 lobby. Not too shabby, but if y'all liked it, like it, subscribe, leave a comment, tell me what you guys thought of it, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out, stay healthy, as always.